Sometimes it's the hum of the refrigerator at 3 in the morning, or the blue glow of your phone in the darkness of the room while the rest of the world sleeps. You're there, awake, and everything feels flat, textureless, without that punch that life is supposed to have. It's not sadness, it's not anger. It's a kind of oppressive neutrality, a blank canvas, but you have no paint and no idea what to paint. And the question, silent and insistent, echoes, what am I doing here? I find myself staring at the pile of clean clothes on the chair, untouched for days, at the forgotten cup of coffee on the table, with the lipstick mark on the rim, at the notification of an unread email, which I know isn't urgent, but weighs as if it were. These are the small fragments of daily life that suddenly lose their gravity. They are there, but they don't mean anything. They are just things. And we, in the middle of them, also feel a bit like a thing. It's as if we signed a contract with life, promising that if we did X, Y, and Z, it would give us meaning. And we did. We worked, we studied, we tried. And now, here we are, with the contract in hand, but the meaning clause seems to have been erased, or maybe it was never there. And we're left with this feeling of having been cheated, not by someone, but by our own expectation. You scroll through your feed, see the perfect lives of others, the flawless brunch, the exotic trip, the seamless smile, and you know it's a curation of performance. But still, the comparison is a slow poison. You look at your own blank screen and think, why doesn't mine have that color? Why doesn't mine have that light? And the answer, which comes in a cold whisper, is because yours is real, and reality sometimes is just a hum in the middle of the night. The paradox is cruel. We've never had so many options. Thousands of movies on Netflix, hundreds of restaurants on the delivery app, infinite careers, hobbies, lifestyles. The freedom of choice should be liberating, right? But for me, many times it's paralyzing. I spend more time choosing what to watch than watching, more time thinking about what to eat than eating. It's as if every choice were a small abyss and we're afraid to jump. This paralysis isn't laziness, it's a kind of silent exhaustion. The exhaustion of having to decide, of having to want. Because if everything feels meaningless, how do you know what's really worth it? How do you know which path to take when they all seem to lead to the same place, to more options, to more decisions, to more of this hum that won't stop? I remember one time I was at the supermarket, shelves and shelves of cereal, colorful with promises of energy, fiber, happiness, and I stood there staring at it all, and suddenly a wave of nothing. I didn't want any of them. I didn't want to choose. I just wanted someone to choose for me, for life to tell me, eat this one. It's the right one for you today, but life doesn't speak. It just presents the options and expects us to figure it out. And we figure it out. We choose some random cereal, watch some random movie, do some random work. And we ask ourselves, is this it? Is life just this? A sequence of lukewarm choices, without brilliance, without an echo? And the answer, again, is the hum. The hum of the refrigerator, the hum of the city outside, the hum of our own mind trying to find a pattern, a purpose in the midst of so much noise. In these moments when we feel more like a spectator of our own life than a protagonist, an old idea comes to mind. It's not a piece of advice, but a lens. Epictetus, a Stoic philosopher who was a slave before becoming one of the most influential thinkers of his time, said something like, "Remember that you are an actor in a play you didn't write. You didn't choose the role, the setting, or the plot, but you have the power to play your part well." At first, this might sound a bit discouraging. I didn't write the play, I didn't choose my role, but if you look closely, there's a strange freedom in it. A kindness, because if we didn't write the play, if we didn't choose the setting, then maybe it's not our fault for not feeling the script. Maybe we can give ourselves permission to just act. To act well, with dignity, with presence, even if the plot seems meaningless. I remember a day when I was particularly immersed in this disengagement. I had a list of things to do, but each item felt like a mountain, so I stopped. And I remembered Epictetus, just play your part well. I didn't need to feel like washing the dishes. I just needed to wash the dishes. I didn't need to feel like answering the email. I just needed to answer the email. And suddenly the pressure decreased. It wasn't about finding meaning, but about finding the action that was there, waiting to be done, regardless of my state of mind. And for a few minutes, I was there, just washing the dishes. And strangely, it was a relief. It didn't solve the meaning of life, but it gave me a small piece of now that didn't feel so heavy. Epictetus also reminded us that we cannot control external events, but we can control our reaction to them. And there, in front of the sink, I realized that sometimes the reaction is simply presence. It's the act of engaging with what's in front of us, even if our heart isn't fully in it. It's the courage to act, even when the stage feels empty. It's as if we need to give ourselves permission to just act, without the pressure to be happy, to be productive, to be well, just act. Feel whatever is arising without judgment. Let the fog exist without trying to force it to dissipate, because many times it's in the acceptance of what is that we find a small space to breathe, and in that acceptance we begin to realize that maybe meaning isn't something we find, but something we create in the very act of acting. Not in grand gestures, but in small choices. In the kindness we offer ourselves. In the patience we have with our own confusion. In the simple act of continuing, even when we don't quite know where we're going. This feeling that everything feels meaningless is not a sign that we are broken. It is, perhaps, an invitation to slow down, to look inward, to question the narratives we've been told about what life should be. It's a reminder that life isn't a straight line, and that there is beauty and even wisdom in the detours, in the pauses, in the moments when we feel a bit lost. I remember one night walking through the empty city, the lights of the buildings, the traffic lights blinking yellow, the echo of my own footsteps on the asphalt, and suddenly a feeling of peace. Not the peace that comes from joy, but the peace that comes from acceptance. The acceptance that life is many times a strange place, a place where we feel a bit lost, a bit alone, a bit meaningless, and that it's okay. There is no magic formula to get out of this fog. There is no meaning button we can press. But there is the silent promise that just as the seasons change, we change too. That light always finds a way in, even through the narrowest cracks. And that even when everything feels meaningless, we are still here, breathing, feeling. And that, in itself, is already something. Maybe the way back isn't a paved road, but a trail in the forest, full of dry leaves, fallen branches, and sunlight filtered through the trees. A path we walk one step at a time, without haste, without the need to reach a specific destination. Just walking, observing, feeling the ground beneath our feet, and trusting that at some point we will find a clearing and the colors will come back, and the volume of life will turn up a bit, and we will remember again that we are part of all this. And maybe, just maybe, the beauty lies precisely in this uncertain journey, in this capacity to lose oneself and find oneself, to feel the emptiness and the fullness, to dance with imperfection and to embrace the stillness. Because it's in these moments that we remember what it really means to be human. Not perfect, not always happy, but deeply, beautifully just being. And sometimes playing our part well, even when we don't understand the play, is already enough. It's already everything.